Andrew Tate. This is the best way to transition to it. Let me just Andrew Tate. We're getting in here. We're gonna talk about the updates. There's some WhatsApp messages that came out. People don't know. Did he do it? Did he not? Is Andrew Tate an evil guy? Is he? We really. This is the first time we're impacting on the show, so we really just gotta start from ground zero and just kind of go in there and just you know, how are you feeling? What's your initial thoughts, initial statements on any Andrew Tate updates or Andrew Tate in general?
All right, let me just put this out here first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen. Um, Andrew Tate is a very powerful man in his own right. Let's just call a spade, basically, right? The guy he has taken over social media without having a social media. Period. If you don't talk about influence, that's influence, bro. You got other people talking about you. Secondly, talk about the messages that we got from these ladies that were scamming him and his brother Tristan. Look, man, I don't agree with anybody getting accused of something they didn't do. I don't believe in that. I do believe in justice. I do. And obviously we could start talking about a bunch of stuff when it comes to justice over the past 5 years, just in general in terms of justice. But like I went through and I read some messages that they leaked of the WhatsApp messages. It's crazy, man. It's crazy that people can hate someone so much, and when like in reality, yeah, some of the stuff he says is sometimes a bit hateful. I'm not gonna deny it, but some of the stuff he says, if you actually listen to it, it ain't that bad. It's not like something that's like, oh, I never heard that before. Like he just kind of called it how it is. He's the up. He is the more almost the same level as Donald Trump when he was coming up as in his presidency. That type of like ick or that type of itch. Where I'm sorry, let me sit up. So when Donald Trump was coming through his presidency, right? Like in his presidency and before, he was saying some wild shit, bro. Just wild shit. But some of the stuff he said, if you actually went and did research on it, I'm like, oh, okay, like he's kind of right. Like he's not crazy completely. I don't agree with most of the stuff he says, but that was right. For these women to go out here and just accuse this man of something that obviously him and his brother didn't do, just based on these messages, just factual at this point. Like you put a grown man who has done nothing wrong by the law in prison, wrongfully accused, and you put him in a Romanian prison at that. Like this ain't America, bro. This ain't America. Like that's a whole nother world out there in the East. They are dogs, and he's a tough guy from what I know. But like all I'm saying is like I feel I shouldn't say I feel for the man, but I do feel for the man because if it was me and I was wrongfully accused of especially like rape or sex trafficking or those just awful crimes, right? Like it diminishes your image, and his image is the only thing that he makes money off of. Just to be honest, I mean, he says, "Oh, I got these businesses." You make your money off your images. Without his images, he is not who he is today. Factual. And so, I want to make it very clear. Like I said, I do not agree with everything he says. I don't agree with most of the stuff he says, but there's some things he says that I do agree with, and I think most people would. And there's definitely some things that are hateful and I do not agree with. But for someone to accuse you of something you did not do, period, flat out, and have proof that they were plotting, outright just disrespectful. It's honestly disgusting. It's just disgusting that people would go to those lengths to do that. But when you mess with those type of people, I guess that's what you got to do.
Yeah, so you know, I'm not super in depth or know too much about what's going on with the trial per se. So I don't want to say that I think that he's innocent or guilty. I don't know. I do know that these messages were shocking. Um, and the way that the messages were portrayed, if these were real messages, if all this stuff comes out real, then it was someone that got scammed and they're trying to cancel him. And it's a big thing for cancel culture. It's happening. For me personally, I think Andrew Tate is someone. that has 5%, the base of what he's saying, the backbone, there's a whole lot of merit to it, but he dresses it up in such an ugly way that it touches people in just an unpleasant manner. And you know, with the female crowd, he's not very much like. With the male crowd, he's champion, and you know they want to say he's toxic masculinity, but males want to say that hey, he's the right level of masculinity, and he's what's needed in a dwindling space in society. So, as far as Andrew Tate goes, and as far as getting into that, I really just don't have too. I don't want to be too opinionated on his trial because I really just don't know what's going on there, and I want to, if he did do some messed up stuff, I want to make sure I reserve the space to, let those people that did go through that, if he were to have done some messed up stuff, the space to heal and not need my voice to shoot them down. So I'm not going to do that. But as far as Andrew Tate and what he comes to society, I think he's needed. I think there's people out there that champion him. He's obviously needed. There's a space that was not being hit. He recognized it and he hit it hard. No pun intended, in a masculine front. But I definitely think he was needed, and I think that people out there don't need to push him off so much because if you really listen to what he says, like I said, the backbone of what he's saying, there is a lot of merit. There's a lot of truth to it. He's very hyperbolic, but he's also in the entertainment space, and people need to realize, like us, we're in the entertainment space. So although our opinions are our real opinions, and we actually think these things, we express it in a hyperbolic more animated fashion to get our point across so it really sticks too. And I don't know if that's what he did, if that's what he does, but that's what I imagine he's doing. He's animated, he has a character, he's playing that role, he's playing it well, and it's resonating with a lot of people, but it's also pissing a lot of people off. But I do think that, the content at least not was needed and is still needed in that space.
Yeah, I mean, and let's just kind of roll into the point at the same because we like once again we've talked before to some degree about the masculinity in that space and without going too in depth on it we understand like how the world is changing for the better for women and then and for just people in general, like definitely a little bit more acceptance, definitely a little bit more just understanding of one another, which I appreciate. Being a different race, like a different not different race, but being a different color than somebody else. It's just having a little bit more acceptance there. So without going too deep and getting all of my feels and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Like I just flat out just don't agree with wrongly accusing someone. That's just what it is. I don't believe in the fact that you can use somebody like they did and then make a scene out of it because you want to, like he said, cancel him. But the thing is, if they're trying to cancel him, the man's been canceled. The guy lost all his social media accounts. The guy's been canceled. Other people post his content over and over again, and it keeps getting out there. I can't go a day without seeing a video of Andrew Tate. Genuinely, I can't. Like that is how. Like if I'm on my phone for more than an hour, I guarantee you I see a one video of Andrew Tate, something relating to it. Um, so I mean, if for the people out there that don't enjoy him at all whatsoever, women or men, I implore you to do this because I've always said this to my family, things like that. Like if you're passionate about something, you need to make it known and have like actual facts to back it too. Like make a point. If you're not trying to cancel somebody, you shouldn't try to cancel anybody, but put yourself out there and like make a point why you don't agree with this and make back it with some facts because people respect facts. They do. Opinions not so much because everybody said respect my opinion. Like nobody respected his opinion. Not many people respected his opinion, but enough people did to obviously repost him and obviously make a few women mad enough that they were going to do this. So I mean that's all I got to say about it. Like I said, I don't want to jump down the rabbit hole. I'm not big into the trial. Like I mean, I do have an idea of what's been going on to a degree, but I understand that it's a bit in discovery and moving through that type of stuff. So, like, we'll see. But I mean, the guy shouldn't be in prison in freaking Romania for something they didn't do. Like, I just, oh my god, I don't even want to. I wouldn't even want to be rich and famous if